Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be ranking all marksman brawlers in the game from the very worst all the way up to the very best. So another chilled video because we've got an update probably around the corner and I don't want to burn myself out before the brand new update. So it's pretty nice to actually take a step back and have these fun type videos. So again, if you missed what we've been doing in these videos, it is brand new brawler classes. We saw a lot of like different variations, and now we have the marksman class. So brawlers like Piper, the long range brawlers, we're going to be ranking them. So before we get into today's video, make sure you're using a credit code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, jumping into the 8th or the worst marksman in the game, we have Janet. So Janet, strictly speaking, she's actually the best out of all the brawlers in the marksman category, but if you're just looking at trying to define her and how good of a marksman she is, I'd actually put her near the bottom, mainly because a lot of different brawlers will outrange her. Obviously, it's not all just dependent on that, but I think on the maps where you kind of expect a marksman to be good on, Janet just isn't strong on them whatsoever. You know, maps like Shooting Star, Bridge to Far, all of these maps, Safe Zone, you know, she's not used on these longer range maps where you see other marksmen being used on. And I would actually normally categorize a marksman as like a brawler that is more of a mid brawler, and Janet is definitely not a mid brawler. Janet is definitely a lane brawler. You can use her in mid in some circumstances where she can be pretty flexible, like gem grab for example, but more often than not you're going to be using Janet as a lane. So yeah, I just think as a marksman, she doesn't really fit this category. I'd actually rather put Janet in like the controller kind of category, because normally you tend to try and control where the enemies are, especially with your gadget, with your main attack dealing 1500 damage. You know, she doesn't really pack a punch either with her main attack, so that's just why I can't really put her as high as you guys probably want me to. So put this gadget down again. We're just looking to chip these guys, chip them down, and this is just what a control brawler does, not a marksman. So again, like maps in these longer range maps, you just don't really see Janet kind of pop off in that sense. She's more of a brawler that can use her HP and her pretty decent damage to force the opponents back. So yeah, I'm just going to stay around here because I know my Shelly was just going to die right there. Let's see if we can get this Tara down. Nice. And Janet's going to be flying into the corner there, but my teammates should be able to help me in a second. Nice. Janet is down. Don't know where this Surge is laying. Okay, he's going to be there. Hopefully my teammates can get this ball out the corner, and we should be able to get in a good position. But we've got a Tara sneaking up on us. Hopefully they realize that. They don't really realize it, but Tara is just pretty trash herself, so we can get out of that position. And as soon as these guys start to get a lot of damage onto us, we can just pop our super and just fly out of it. That should be a takedown onto the Janet, and we should be able to get the Tara down here. So this is going to be a win, and that's going to be the worst marksman in the game, even though Janet is one of the best brawlers in the game. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the 7th or the 2nd worst marksman in the game, we have Mandy. So you might be surprised by this one because Mandy, of course, has the longest range in the game right now. But Mandy, I don't know, I just don't think is in the best of spots. I don't really see Mandy play too much in competitive anymore, even though, again, she seems to be like an easy counter to those other marksmans, but it requires a really good Mandy to pop off, especially with the super as well. So she definitely has the potential, but I feel like there should be a buff to Mandy pretty soon, and then she might be pretty much one of the best marksmans in the game. But just because of how she is currently in the meta, I've just got to put her near the bottom. So again, I'd rather just go another sniper like a Piper, like a Nanny, any type of brawler like that. I'd rather go than a Mandy. So yeah, that's gonna be an easy win for us because she's actually still pretty good in knockout and bounty in general, but I would still put her on the weaker side. I'd rather go with these other marksman brawlers. So that's going to be number 7. Let's hop into number 6. So next up, as the 6th best marksman in the game right now, we have Brock. So Brock is definitely in a decent spot right now. In no ways is he overpowered, but he definitely isn't weak either. He's more so on the balanced side. But I think a good Brock can definitely pop off, unlike me. I don't know how I didn't say that one, but yeah, we kind of move on for that one. But yeah, Brock definitely in a really good position. He's super strong on a lot of different bounty maps, knockout maps, heist maps, and he's got that decent range. Of course, the other thing that kind of lets him down sometimes is that as a marksman, a lot of the times you have to be at your maximum range to hit the shots. So I just feel like his mechanics and how slow the rocket can be can let him down sometimes, but he definitely can still pack that punch. I definitely like playing him on a lot of different game modes. So I'm going to use super here. We're actually using more rocket style power. I do like to switch over to that, especially on a game mode like Brawl. Hopefully Shelly deals with that primo, or else we were pretty screwed. Nice, we're able to take him down. But yeah, I do like Brock, but I just think the other marksmen are probably in a bit of a better position. And also, when you're kind of thinking about like marksman 1v1s, Brock definitely like loses quite a lot of them. Like I would actually rather prefer a lot of the other marksmen in that 1v1, you know, like Piper, Nanny, all of these other brawlers, even a B. I know Brock can more than likely win that 1v1, but I'll still just prefer B just because those 3k shots can just be so devastating. So we should be able to get our super pretty soon. We're probably going to cycle this really fast, so we're just going to fire off his super as soon as possible, see if we can get any more damage off. But yeah, I'm definitely vulnerable to these type of tanks like Primo, especially because of how weak we are. So should be able to get him down fairly soon. He's going to jump onto the Jackie, so that's definitely a good choice from him, or else we probably would have scored there. So again, got our super. You can see how like valuable this more rocket star power can be though. Okay, I don't really want to feed this into bear, even though my teammate just literally fed it as I said it. And now I'm kind of screwed because I'm getting backed into the corner by a Bruce bear, and my teammates are just doing nothing. But Brock definitely is an underrated brawler, but in terms of marksmen, we'll put him near the bottom. Let's hop into the next one. So next up, as the 5th best marksman in the game right now, we have Belle. So Belle is just that solid brawler, which is pretty good everywhere. You can always rely on a Belle. And yeah, I just like her everywhere, as I mentioned. Like heist, she's really good. Bounty, she's that solid brawler, especially if those other long-range marksmen are banned. You can always rely on a Belle because not only is she decent against those snipers, you know, more often than not, they actually are countered by the other snipers. But the good thing about Belle is that she's really good against, well, not really good against aggro, but pretty decent against aggro because of that super. So bear that in mind with Belle. She's definitely a good, flexible marksman. But if you're looking for like the strongest in those long-range maps, she's going to get a little bit countered because of course she doesn't have the longest of ranges. But if you're a decent Belle, I can keep tapping. The good thing about her as well is the star power. You get that extra shield, and the more you tap, the more of course tanky you can be and the more aggressive you can be. So Belle is more so on the more aggressive sides as an assassin, as a marksman. So that's why I also like her as well. So good Belles are definitely rewarded by the shields that they constantly get. So we should be able to pinch this dynamite here with a spike. Okay, nice. I'm just going to pop this gadget just to reveal the Fang's position, and this should be a takedown pretty soon. Nice. So just in that 3v1 scenario against the Gene, there's just no way they're going to be able to do anything. Even if he hits his pull, we're just going to run into him because he has no ammo, and we should be able to take him down so easily. So that is going to be Belle, a really decent brawler in this meta and a pretty good marksman. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, jumping into the 4th best marksman in the game right now, we have Bonnie. So Bonnie was a tough one because of course Bonnie's mechanics can lead to the decision that maybe she's not an out-and-out marksman, but she's got some really good range, really good tankiness, and for me, it has to be one of the best marksmen in the game because once you pop that gadget, you can just be so incredibly aggressive and then also counter your fellow marksmen with the super form. So that is just why I love Bonnie. Definitely one of the most underrated brawlers consistently in all the metas, really. But yeah, of course, you got to bear in mind in her other form, she's not a marksman. She's like an assassin. She can deal a lot of damage pretty quickly. But I guess I can see why they put it in the marksman category. So we're going to pop into our super right here again. We've got to be definitely careful, obviously, and of course he can counter us in this other form. So let me know where you'd actually put Bonnie. This one was a tough one. I could have easily put her towards the bottom because as well, like when she's in cannon form without gadgets, she can really suffer because of that slow movement speed. So technically, other brawlers will be able to outrange her because of course that movement speed is pretty slow. But again, a good Bonnie can make use of the gadgets and definitely pop off. So we're going to use the super right here. We're going to take down the Grum successfully, and that's going to be all the gems going our side. So a good Bonnie again can just switch the game so easily. So I don't know what category I'd put her in because again, she's a hybrid, but if you'd have to put her in any, probably would be the marksman. So hopefully my B falls back here. We're going to pop our super just to gain extra HP. We should just be able to run into this Gene, take him down successfully. I'm just spamming auto aim, just how easy it is to play Bonnie as a marksman sometimes. Leon's definitely going to be trying to sneak up on us, but there's just no way he can take us down, especially if we just jump on the other side of the map. So Bonnie, definitely a really strong brawler and a pretty good marksman. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the 3rd best marksman in the game right now, we have Piper. So no matter where Piper lies in the meta, she'll always be one of the best marksmen just because of her carry potential. If you're a really strong Piper, you can carry so easily. No matter the game mode, if you're tapping, she's going to be so easy to play, especially against those lower skill players, and especially considering whenever I play on a lower account, actually Piper's one of the brawlers that I end up maxing out first just because of that carry potential. Even though we haven't even hit a shot yet. So yeah, not really carrying right now, but you can see here a couple of taps should be able to get our super to break open the map against these throwers. It's just a weird combination of facing Mortis double thrower on gem grabber. It's just quite wild. But yeah, again, Piper's one of the best marksmen just because of the sheer damage she does. Just one of the most damage in the game for a single shot. And the shots aren't the hardest to really hit. Like, let's be honest, it isn't too hard to play a good Piper in this meta. Hopefully we can get our super in time. And I'm just going to jump as close to the penny as possible because I know I'm going to pretty much die here unless the Mortis dies to the tick, which he should. Okay, I have no idea what is even going on in this game. You know, more than likely I would like to play Piper on like knockout and bounty. She's kind of been removed from the gem grab meta and other metas because the aggression just counts a little bit too much. But, you know, with a little buff, maybe to like her ambush star power or something like that, I think she would definitely be back in the meta in terms of gem grab and brawl. Kind of miss it because back in the days, like a year ago or so, Piper was always a brawler to use. Even on Backyard Bowl, on like any gem grab map, she was like one of the best gem carriers. But now, she's kind of overshadowed a little bit. But still, I can't ignore how good of a marksman she is, especially with the gadget as well, increasing the range, being able to just two-tap so many of those squishier marksman brawlers. She's just insane as a marksman. But yeah, that's going to be the third best marksman in the game. No real competition here in this game. These guys have just been terrible except for this Mortis early on. So yeah, that's going to be the third best marksman. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the second best marksman in the game right now, we have Nanny. So Nanny, of course, is one of the most ranged brawlers inside of a game. I think the only brawler that outranges Nanny is a Mandy, but Nanny overall is just so consistently good on those longer range maps, and especially when you're thinking, again, I said it time and time again when I'm talking about marksmen, but Shooting Star is always the map where it comes to mind when I'm thinking of a good marksman. Nanny is definitely one of the best brawlers on that map, and then also just counters the other marksmen really well. So, of course, with the Nanny peep as well, they're pretty squishy marksmen, so the super can just kill them pretty easily. So that's just what I love about Nanny for sure. So I'm just going to use this peep to hit Carl. I'm sure able to get a kill right there. So yeah, let me know what you think of Nanny in this meta. You know, she tends to be like really strong in some metas and pretty weak in most. But again, I'm thinking more of the maps that are long range, and I just love going Nanny on those maps. So we're going to be careful of the Carl right here because he's probably got protective pirouette and will just completely destroy us. But we do have a Nanny peep to actually protect us against his Mortis and also a gadget. So we should be able to get the kill onto him. Nice. That's just one thing you don't want to go in as a Mortis, is go into a Nanny with peep and then probably damage gear activates. It's actually a decent counter to Mortis sometimes. So that is going to be the second best marksman in the game. Let's hop into number one. Alright guys, so jumping into the best marksman in the game right now, we have B. So even though B technically gets outranged by quite a lot of the other marksmen, I just thought it's B, right? B is one of the most annoying brawlers in this meta, one of the strongest brawlers in this meta, and it seems pretty impossible to not put B like at the top because she's just so consistently good. And what makes her a good marksman is that she doesn't get countered by a lot of things, and that's of course why she's so strong in the meta, but so strong at countering tanks and just good against pretty much everything. So for that reason, I have to put her right at the top because it's B. B is OP and has been for the longest time. And, you know, I'm hoping pretty soon that she can get a nerf because although I love B and she's actually one of my favorite brawlers to play, it's just been too long for like how strong she is. And every single list I seem to do, B just seems to be at the top of it because she's so incredibly strong. So again, I'm just smashing my auto aim button as much as possible because this is all you need to do as a B, especially against all of these tanks, is just smash auto aim. You don't even need to aim a lot of the time. It's going to be another kill, and hopefully my teammates can stop that primo because he's probably close to super and can probably score a goal here. But yeah, you can see here I can just slow this Frank, spam auto aim, and again get the slow on him again, get the 3k onto Jackie, and it's just ridiculous how quickly I could just spam through my shots over and over again. For a marksman brawler to have such a quick reload speed, it's just insane. Just so many strong things about her. It's impossible to not put her at top. Like, there's no other marksman that can do this right. Look at this again, like, just smashing the auto aim button. How strong is this brawler? She's just completely broken. Completely hard carried, and that's going to be the best marksman in the game, one of the best brawlers in the game. Let me know what you think of the list. Again, it's pretty hard because what is your definition of marksman? Of course, it's got to be a sniper, but at the same time, you've got to consider a lot of different things as well. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.